Loyd wanted out of Seattle. She wanted out of Seattle so badly that she told her agent, "Just get me out. It's physically, mentally, and emotionally cannot be worse than Seattle." That is some damning shit to say about a franchise that had you as the face of the franchise, the number one option of the franchise that, I mean, for all intents and purposes, is the reason you're relevant in the WNBA. The franchise that drafted you, the franchise that has had you in its city for 10 years. But all of a sudden, it physically, mentally, and emotionally cannot be worse. Let's talk about that. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, where we talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Thank you so much for jumping on the live with myself and Ben Daniel tonight on Sunday Night Heat. Appreciate y'all continued support of the channel. Both of us, we greatly appreciate you. Happy birthday once again to my boy, Ben Daniel. Have a blessed day, my friend. It's been an honor and a privilege to sit in the chair with you. Well, not on the same chair with you, but on the screen with you and chop it up. And look forward to doing a lot more videos together, a lot more lives and collaborations together. It's been a great time, and I appreciate you, my brother. If you haven't done so yet, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Jewell Loyd wanted out of Seattle. Can you imagine? You played in a place since you were 21 years old. Your entire career is in Seattle. You had a season where you averaged 25 points per game. They allowed you to be as inefficient a player as could humanly be possible in that city and show you love. Maybe you wore your welcome out. Maybe you got tired of your teammates. I don't know what happened because you like to be vague about things. You kind of give cryptic communication. You have a team that has the president of the WNBPA on that team, Nneka Ogwumike. You have a high-level point guard. Yes, I know Skylar Diggins can sometimes be emotional and maybe a little bit erratic, but nonetheless, she's a great point guard in this league. You have a legitimate center in Ezzy Magbagor. You now have you don't have that young player because you got traded for that pick, but now you have a player in Dominique Malongo who could be a future star of the franchise, but obviously that was the trade. And then you also have Gabby Williams in the building. So a team that is tremendously talented. And you were the face. You were the number one option. Even though you shot 36% from the field last year, even though you shot 27.4% from 3-point range, even though that is a city that I know for a fact, because I have friends that live up there, that is as liberal as it gets. So what was the problem? What was the problem in Seattle, Washington, where they allow people to take over an entire stretch of city blocks, including a police station, and that you're so uncomfortable with in Seattle that makes you hate Seattle so much? Gotta know, because last year you averaged 20 points on 36% shooting, 27.4 from three. Year before, you averaged almost 25 points per game on 37% shooting and 35.6% from three. Year before, 16.3. Year before that, 17.9. You've been allowed your entire career to be a shot chucker in Seattle. And here we are right now. You demanded to get out of Seattle. You asked your agent, get me out of here. So you could go over to the Las Vegas Aces and be the worst piece of that trade. The Las Vegas Aces are probably looking at Jewell Loyd right now and saying, what the hell did we do? I want to show you the video that she made. It was via the Warehouse podcast on requesting a trade out of Seattle. And I mean, this is pretty damning stuff. I got to say, it really is. But at the same time, it is something that I think when you look at it from a perspective of, let's see here, what's really going on, you don't really know what's actually happening here and why this is the situation, because she's never really said what the situation truly is. Did Skylar Diggins piss you off? Did the coach Noel Quinn piss you off? Did what happened? What happened? I'm curious because you go real hard with this and then you don't really say anything else. So let's take a look of what she had to say. Sorry about that. Here we go. Here it is.
Like at the start of everything, I told my agent, like, just get me out. Like, I will find a way to make it physically, mentally, emotionally cannot be worse. Like I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I will put my life savings on this. It can't be worse. So she's like, okay. And I, told her certain teams, and I'm like, I don't like whatever works out. And I have the contracts and timing and, the CBA's next coming up. Like, I don't know all these things. I'm like, just, I trust you, like, figure it out. Like at the start.
So tell me what was the problem? See, this is what I don't like. You give that vague ass commentary. So you allow people to then speculate. You got comments here like, I don't like the organization and the people who run it, but I enjoy the team and want the players to succeed. Sucks they did Jewell like that. What did they do to Jewell Loyd? She's having her worst. I like this comment. She's having her worst season ever. It's only reason she's having her worst season ever. LMAO. Only reason it was draining is because she had to play LMAO. I think that's actually kind of funny. Honestly, it's kind of funny. Think about this, folks. Think about this long and hard. Because you have a player here who is, for lack of better words, bitching and moaning about her job. And people bitch and moan about their jobs all the time. And you look at worse than we thought. I don't know what that means. Let's see when he said, quit your bitching. Yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like she's doing nothing but complaining. And she goes over to Vegas. She's part of the trade that sends Kelsey Plum to LA, sends the second pick of the draft to Seattle. And I think Lee Yuru was in that trade as well. And you're here in Vegas now, and you are averaging 10 points per game. This is your worst season since your rookie year when you were 21 years old. You're shooting 28.6% from the field. Somehow you're shooting 40.6% from three. And that's probably because you're just standing in the corner or standing around waiting to have the ball passed to you because no one's guarding you, because they all know you're a shot chucker and the offense runs through Asia Wilson. And Jackie Young is way better player than you. And Chelsea Gray is a way better player than you. And you're shooting 12.5% from 2-point range. You are 3 of 24 from 2-point range this season. That is an abomination of a stat line. And she is sitting here getting on a podcast talking about how it can't be worse. I'm going to tell you right now, you know what could be worse? You know what could be worse? Is if you went to New York. Because if you put up some bullshit garbage can shit like this, they would be booing you out of the building. Even in I do believe even the Liberty, if you were putting this trash ass shit up here, 28.6% shooting, like this isn't just her worst season. This is her worst season by a mile. So what's the problem now? What's the problem now? Please do tell us, because the physical, emotional, mental bullshit that you had in Seattle, who you were there for 10 years, and now you're in Vegas for 5 games, and you're having the worst season of your life, despite playing with probably as much talent or more talent than you've ever played with in a starting lineup in your life. Because the talent in Vegas is still strong in the starting lineup. Their bench may not be all that great, but their starting lineup is still strong. And your usage rate is down. Your shooting percentage is the worst it's ever been. Your 2-point range percentage, I mean, my God, what are you just throwing the ball behind your head? I don't know what you're doing. And you're getting on podcast. WNBA, didn't you have I don't know, I could have swore WNBA. It was heroes, images, right here. Didn't y'all? Oh shit, it's even better right here. I mean, you gotta love this one. Isn't the WNBA's campaign this year "No Space for Hate"? Look at this Seattle Storm post. No space for hate. The Seattle Storm stands with our fellow WNBA teams against offensive, discriminatory, and hateful content. The WNBA aims to inspire and connect people everywhere through the power of women's basketball. The Storm wants to ensure that our communities, both in arena and on social media, are inclusive and safe. There is no space for hate. Fans who violate our policies will be subject to their comments being deleted and their account being blocked from our social media channels. This is the Seattle Storm. Wow. The team that she just literally went on a lengthy diatribe about and how horrible it was mentally, emotionally, and physically. And yet there is their campaign of no space for hate in the WNBA. So let's ask the question: is what Jewell Loyd's doing hateful? I'm just curious. Is she doing some hateful stuff? What did Seattle do that was so hateful that hurt Jewell Loyd this much that she wants to go on, you know, little temper tantrums like that? I gotta know. I'd love to know. And that's where the entire hypocrisy of this league is. What happened to Jewell Loyd? Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else we can find on Jewell Loyd before we wrap this thing up. Because never really heard. So here it is. Jewell Loyd requested a trade from Seattle Storm after an investigation into allegations of bullying and harassment by the coaching staff found no violations. Loyd had filed the complaint, and despite the Storm's internal investigation concluding without finding any violations, she requested a trade, ultimately leading to her departure from the team. So she felt like she was being bullied. Really? Wow. Interesting. Interesting commentary. Remember, this is Seattle, Washington. Remember the players that played in Seattle: Sue Bird, Breanna Stewart. The Storm won a record-tying fourth WNBA championship, and it included the team's big three: Sue Bird, Jewell Loyd, and Breanna Stewart, wearing Black Lives Matter and Say Her Name T-shirts. This was back in 2021. T-shirt players used for warm-ups during the 2020 season played in the bubble in Bradenton, Florida. That's how Loyd hopes she'll be remembered in Seattle, a key part of the iconic trio who brought home 2 titles in 3 years. I don't think you could look at Seattle and not think of us, all of us, as well as Lauren Jackson, as players who came in as young adults and kind of grew up into mature women, Loyd told ESPN. I think that's really cool to be a part of. Yet Loyd will be on the Aces bus on Sunday. Her return to Seattle for the first time as a visiting player came much sooner than anyone had expected. After signing a contract extension in 2023 at the end of the Storm's first season following Bird's retirement and Stewart's departure for the Liberty in free agency, Loyd helped recruit star free agents Skylar Diggins and Nneka Ogwumike. She looked like the bridge between Seattle Big Threes, hoping to return the Storm to contention. Instead, after an investigation into Loyd's offseason complaint alleging bullying and harassment by Storm coaching staff, by the Storm coaching staff found no violation. So she's literally saying that the coaches bullied her. But she hopes her accomplishments in Seattle will never be forgotten. I think I tried to lay a foundation for what a championship team looks like, a championship player. I think that's the same for me, Stewie, and Sue. We all talk about it ourselves. We really left our mark. Loyd split. I'm just giving some background here. Loyd split with Storm began in November when ESPN confirmed a Chicago Sun-Times report that the organization had retained an outside investigator to assess Loyd's allegations against the Seattle coaching staff led by Noelle Quinn, a former teammate of Loyd's who has been the head coach since 2021. So your teammate who you won a championship with, who coached you for not 1, not 2, but 3 years. Interesting. The Seattle Times later reported that Loyd would have withdrawn her trade request had the team fired Quinn. You wanted your head coach fired. Why? This was your friend, right? This was your friend, right? You were teammates, right? Colleagues at the very least. Won a championship on the same roster. I don't know. It was that bad? I don't know, man. That's weird. Again, I ain't a fan of that shit. You want to get your coach fired because you did what? You won't tell us why. That's what makes it even worse. Like if at least you said what you feel happened, it would like it's whack. You have an investigation now. You just dogging the franchise and how bad it is. I mean, my God, if I'm Noel Quinn, I'm happy you're gone because I can't stand crybabies. And you are having a shit season right now. Kind of karma, if you ask me. If you went to New York or if you were playing men's basketball and you went to New York and you put up 10 points and 28% shooting, you'd be out of the league. Like you'd be out of the league. They would boo you off the floor. But yeah, what are y'all thoughts of this? What are y'all thoughts of what Jewell Loyd had to say? My comments. Love to hear what you got to say. Love to hear what y'all thoughts are. Most liberal place in this country, or one of them. You're there for 10 years, and now all of a sudden, Noel Quinn, after 3 years, is horrible. Love to know why. I can only speculate in my mind what's going on. But let me see something. I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. Come on now.